Jesus, the Messiah of Jerusalem, has fallen into the hands of a Roman governor who is about to make a decision about his life. Kingdoms are colliding with kingdoms. Disciples are running. People are scattering. Nobody is sure. They have interpreted the scriptures expecting God to do one thing, only to realize that even the scriptures did not fully articulate the method that God was going to move. They had seen the Messiah, and the prophets had prophesied it. But the prophecies came through about the cross. And now Jesus is headed for the cross. And you know how people scatter when you become controversial. They with you when you're going up. But if you become controversial, if there's too much talk at the kitchen table, in the family reunion, in the barbershop, people start getting away. They just leave. So they scattered. The 5,000 were gone. The woman with the issue of blood is gone. All of the people, the 10 lepers are gone. Everybody's gone their own way. And Jesus is standing trial before a governor. Matthew 27:11. And Jesus stood before the governor. Oh, I love it. Stood straight up. Stood right in front of him. And the governor asked him, saying, Art thou king of the Jews? And Jesus said unto him, Thou sayest. Jesus, don't tell me that Jesus didn't get smart. Jesus got smart. In handcuffs. Thou sayest. And when he was accused of the chief priests and the elders, he answered nothing. Pilate said, Hearest thou not how many things they witness against thee? And he answered him never a word. And he answered him never a word. Insomuch that the governor scratched his head. He's not trying to get out of it. He's not trying to get away from it. He's not trying to defend himself. The governor marveled greatly because Jesus says nothing at all. And the governor marveled greatly, not at the wisdom, but at the silence. Can you hear what I'm saying to you?
I want to talk to you today about seasons of silence. We all go through times where it doesn't feel like we're making progress. We're praying, but our prayers aren't being answered. We're being our best, but not getting good breaks. The problem hasn't turned around. Seems like God went on vacation. But the silence is not a sign that God is not working. He may not be changing the circumstances, but He is changing us. God uses the seasons of silence to get us prepared. When we're not getting our way, we're doing the right thing, but we're being overlooked. Our friend got married, but we're still single. We're working harder than our coworker, but they got the promotion. We feel overlooked, undervalued, forgotten. These times of isolation where you're not being celebrated are extremely valuable. Nothing may be changing on the outside, but something's happening on the inside. Your character is being developed. You're learning to not depend on people. You're gaining experience, maturity, strength that you'll need to go where God is taking you. And you may wonder why no one is celebrating you. You're being faithful, but the door hasn't opened. You're gifted. You know you could teach that class better than the person that's in place, but they never call on you. Don't complain about the silence. God does His greatest work in isolation, when nobody is noticing you. There are things you will learn in anonymity that you can't learn anywhere else.
It's in silence that greatness is born. It's in the quiet moments when no one's watching that champions are made. You see, life isn't about the noise, the fanfare, or the applause. It's about what you do when the world isn't looking. It's about the grind. Now, I want you to picture something for me. Imagine two boats on a river. One's floating downstream, carried by the current. It's easy, effortless. The people on board are laughing, drinking, having a grand old time. But where are they going? Wherever the river takes them. The other boat, it's going upstream. The people on board are sweating, straining, fighting against the current with every stroke of their oars. It's hard work, no doubt about it. But here's the kicker. They're going exactly where they want to go. So I ask you, which boat are you on? You see, most people are on that first boat. They're drifting through life, carried along by circumstances, by other people's expectations, by the path of least resistance. And you know what? There's nothing inherently wrong with that. But if you're here, listening to me right now, I'm willing to bet you're not satisfied with just drifting. You want more. You want to be on that second boat? You want to chart your own course to fight against the current, to reach destinations that others can only dream of. And let me tell you something. You can do it, but it's going to take work. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take grinding in silence. Now, when I say grinding in silence, what do I mean? I'm talking about the work you do when no one's watching. The early mornings and late nights, the sacrifices you make that no one else sees, the battles you fight within yourself day in and day out. It's easy to be motivated when you're in front of a crowd, when people are cheering you on. But true success, lasting success, comes from what you do in the quiet moments. It comes from your ability to push yourself when there's no external pressure, when there's...
He has the responsibility of standing head and shoulders above other men in what he was able to do. Unlike Saul, it's not that Jesus is tall. His work is tall. It is impactful, and it's doing something, and it's stirring up something, and it has created a problem, a multi-pronged problem. He is not fully accepted by the religious leaders of his time. In fact, they hated him. Religion always hates revelation. So if you're going to be a preacher and move in faith and you have not gotten healed from your need to be liked, run. Don't walk, run. Because if you are not disliked, you are unnoticed. While some are running to you, some are going to be running from you. That's the nature of the job. It happened to Jesus. It's going to happen to you. You can't tiptoe around it and try to be so nice that you don't make no waves, because you were called to make waves. You were called to stir up stuff. You were called to get on people's nerves. Don't take it personally, because it is not really two men bantering over an issue. It is two kingdoms. The kingdoms are in conflict in the text. It is the kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of light that is working in the underpinning of the story. You're praying about your story, but you don't understand there's a warfare going on beneath your story. You're praying about the details. I'm talking about the strategy. You're talking to God about the inconvenience, but you're not getting to the underfact that Satan has a plot against you, that he has a plot against you, and the kingdoms are in conflict. Not only are the kingdom of God and the kingdom of darkness in conflict, you have the Roman sovereign colonialization that was done then and still being done now to take over new territories, and we have before us a Pilate who is a governor of a colony whereby Rome is spreading and taking authority over Jerusalem. Yeah, taking authority. It is not Rome, but it's under Rome.
But I want you to remember something. This moment right now is the beginning of the rest of your life. What you do from this moment forward will determine who you become, what you achieve, the impact you have on the world. You have within you the power to become someone truly extraordinary. You have within you the seeds of greatness. But those seeds won't grow on their own. They need to be nurtured. They need to be fed with consistent effort, with unwavering determination, with unstoppable willpower. So start today. Start right now. Choose one area of your life where you want to make a change. Set a clear goal, create a plan, and then get to work. Grind in silence. Face your fears. Develop your willpower. Do it when it's easy, and do it when it's hard. Do it when you feel motivated, and do it when you don't. Do it when you can see progress, and do it when it feels like you're stuck. Just keep going, keep pushing, keep grinding. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. Even though you're grinding in silence, even though the work is yours alone to do, there are others out there on the same path. There are others pushing themselves, facing their fears, developing their willpower. You're part of a community of strivers, of doers, of people who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Draw strength from that. Let it inspire you on the tough days. Let it remind you that greatness is possible, that transformation is real, that you have within you the power to become truly unstoppable. So go forth and grind in silence. Face your fears. Develop your willpower. Become the person you were meant to be. The world is waiting for you to unleash your greatness. Don't keep it waiting any longer. Your journey from fear to unstoppable willpower starts now. Embrace it, own it, and never ever give up.